Hi, I am Sanjeevani Tope. I am here to talk on human values. Welcome to Global Citizens. You are global citizens because world is like a global village. Science has empowered us to understand and improve the physical reality around us. The global village concept is such that advancements in communications and transportation technologies will make the world very smaller and create one big happy village. Today, due to the advancements in technologies, various economies, societies, cultures are integrated through the global network. People and products can move nearly at the speed of sound. Information and ideas can nearly move at the speed of light. So, change is taking place with a tremendous speed. Still, we have various issues at all the levels, at individual level, at family level, at society level, and at nature level too. At individual level, due to lack of clarity in our goals, and when there is a lack of clarity, contradictions are there. When contradictions are there, stress is there. At family level, we find increasing problems of mistrust and misunderstanding and mutual unhappiness. Because of that, insecurity in the children. Generation gap is an evergreen problem all the time. At a society level, again relationship issues. Therefore, on regular basis, we get the news on communal conflicts, exploitation of small children, child labor. Almost all the economies depend on corruption. On regular basis, we get the news on terrorism and violence and unethical practices in almost all the professions. So, this is the problem of relationship at society level. At a nature level also, that is existence. Tremendous exploitation of the nature. Environmental degradation is there and resource depletion is a problem due to that. That is, existence of human race is in danger. Let's see video film.
Biodiversity includes cultivated species, wildlife, and different types of life found on Earth. They are linked in a system through multiple network of interdependencies. As eagle depends on snake, snake on frog, frog on butterfly, butterfly on flowers, and flowers depends on sun. We, humans, are also dependent on the system for our existence. For example, we depends on trees for fresh oxygen. We depends on river for drinking water. We depends on soil that produces our food. India has 8% of the total number of species in the world. Flora and fauna in India, 10% of India's wild flora and 20% of its mammals are in danger. Some of them are cheetah, pink-headed duck, mountain quail, forest spotted owlet, and plants like Madhuca, insignis, and Habardia, heptaneuron. The forest and tree cover in India is 23.81% of the total geographical area, out of which dense forest covers 12.24%, open forest covers 8.99%, and mangrove forest covers 0.14%.
Still, we can think that we have some hopes. But what exactly is amiss? Let us think about the solution. And where lies the solution? Is present education system offering any solution to this? At school and college level, hardly we get any guidance on relationship, how to maintain the relationship, how to manage the relationship. We have so many issues, but we really do not get much guidance since it is not a part of our syllabus. Making a career and getting a job is only the purpose of our education. We do not give much importance to the development of the potential of the child, and therefore there is imbalance. Why imbalance? Because present education system is giving lot of insistence on information, less insistence on skills, and very little guidance about values. This imbalance has been responsible for various such issues in our life. You can see video film on child labor.
ए छोटू एक चाय लाना।
ए छोटू कोल्ड ड्रिंक।
अरे छोटू छोटू दो सिगरेट लाना।
Chotu, a dismissive name for a child employed at a roadside stall. Over 10 million Chotus are victims of child labor in India. They work and serve educated individuals who don't notice child labor. Corporate employees see them just outside their workplace, but they turn a blind eye. How could we get corporate India's attention? We identified a Chotu who serves tea to the employees of a corporate office every day. We then turned Chotu, the tea server, into Chotu, the CEO, and sent him to work in the very same office. The CEO of the company then introduced Chotu to the staff. He also spoke about the atrocities of child labor and what people could do to stop it. Then Chotu distributed his visiting cards which read, "Now that you've noticed me, please notice the children working on the streets as well. Report child labor at 2652-0601. Corporate India did take notice this time and decided to take a stand. Save the Children India received over 350 phone calls reporting child labor within just 2 weeks. We carried out this activity in several corporate offices. It also went viral. Our Chotu CEO helped many other Chotus get off the street. He gave them a chance to reclaim their names and their lives.
The subject which deals with what is of a value or what is valuable to us is called value education. And value education draws attention to various fundamental aspects concerning human life and human happiness. So there is a lot of need of value education today because it is going to help us to be in harmony within ourselves, with other human beings and with the rest of the world. This understanding is essential for the successful conduct of ours in all walks of life. If this understanding is not there, various questions arise in our mind. What are my goals? How do I understand what is important for me? How do I use my education? What I am going to do after my education? What is success? What does it mean to be successful for me? Do I know what I really want? In whatever I have done so far, did I decide these things for myself? Or was I merely acting under external influence? Present curriculum hardly gives any clarity and develops any competencies in the students in this direction, since it is not the part of the curriculum. Then what do I aspire for? Value education helps us to identify the correct aspiration. All of us have something or the other valuable. Our goals, our aims, our aspirations. We need to plan accordingly. If we plan our aspiration, we can think about our objectives, they are called as sub-goals. Then we can have a goal so that we can aspire what we decide. You can see a very inspiring video film on Arunima Sinha, first female amputee to climb Mount Everest.
22,000 फीट ऊंचे पहाड़ पर शान से मुस्कुराते इस चेहरे के पीछे बहुत दर्द छिपा है। इतना कि हम आप जैसे आम लोग शायद ही इसे बर्दाश्त कर पाते। लेकिन अरुणिमा उर्फ सोनू ने ना सिर्फ इसे बर्दाश्त किया बल्कि उसे जीत में बदल दिया।
एक्चुअली लोग होता क्या है कि हमारा जो भी इस तरीके के होता कि ये हमारा मेंटली होता है कि हम मेरा पैर नहीं, हम नहीं जा सकते। एक बार गोल तो बनाओ, एक बार गोल बनाओ, एक बार लक्ष्य बनाओ और कुछ कर गुजरने की ताकत रखो। और कहते हैं कि जब जो हमारी कमजोरी है उसको ताकत बना लो और सिर्फ एक कदम बढ़ाओ। आप एक कदम बढ़ाओगे और खुद ब खुद अपने आप रास्ता बनता चला गया। सो मेरे साथ भी वही हुआ।
Once we understand our aspiration, we need to understand universal human values. So to be happy all the time and whatever is helpful for our happiness is valuable to us. So values form the basis for all our thoughts, behavior, actions. Once we have known what is valuable to us, these values become the basis, the anchor of our actions. So values is the base. Based on that we think whether it is right or wrong. Based on our values, when our thoughts are there, accordingly we develop habits. When we develop habits, we act accordingly, and what others see is our conduct. So without an appropriate value framework, we will not be able to decide whether chosen action is desirable or undesirable, right or wrong. Hence, there is a prime need for correct understanding of the value domain. When we live with correct understanding of values, we are happy always. Otherwise, we feel deprived, frustrated and unhappy. You will not believe, but human values are the same everywhere. Greek Trinity also says that truth, goodness and beauty. And ancient Indian thought says that Satyam Shivam Sundar. Existence of individual is the basic value, because human beings, however, have the urge to exist as human beings and not as slaves. They would rather die than live indefinitely on the subhuman level. Freedom is the basic value, because existence of human beings as human beings is the basis of all values. Then what are the values that hold worthy in your life? Have you verified them to be conducive to your happiness? We also need to understand the universality of various human values. After understanding all this, let us know the synergy between values and skills. Value education thus provides the basis for all our actions. One has to know what is really conducive to human happiness. Happiness for one and all, and happiness at all times. That is what becomes universally valuable to human beings. This is the value domain and the domain of wisdom. This helps to identify and set the right goals and to proceed in the right direction. We have universal values everywhere at all the time. Physical fitness is considered the best value. To be fit, we need to do regular exercise, we need to go for a walk, sufficient rest, and accordingly we need to take diet. These are the skills to remain fit. For mental fitness, we need to have a self-control on ourselves. So, in short, a wise conduct. So, values and skills need to go hand in hand. Socrates once said long back that any person who knows what is truly right will automatically do it. The truly wise man will know what is right, do what is good, therefore he will be all the time happy. Aristotle also said the same thing in a little different language. Anyone can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose and the right way, this is not easy. Let us evaluate now our beliefs. Values are universal, we have seen just now, and therefore happiness is a universal value. But there are certain ad hoc values based on our beliefs. For example, I will be happy if I get a good bungalow, four-wheeler. If I live in a metro, I will be too happy. If I earn sufficient money, then only I will be happy. I want to be very successful, and therefore I need to do this and that, many such things. These are all based on our surroundings, in association with friends, relatives, parents, TV, movies, WhatsApp today, etc., etc. So, beliefs change as per the time and they are not universal. But values do not change as per the time and place. They are all the time same and universal. What I may believe to be of value to me, but may not be of value to you or to your belief system. So, when we interact, it may lead to conflicts and contradictions, and naturally unhappiness will be there. Because the conditioned beliefs and values we hold today are usually contradictory, conflicting and unstable, and not based upon the right understanding of values. When our lives based on only such beliefs, they cannot ensure us happiness. This is why this understanding is essential for us. We can blindly follow our beliefs and assumed values towards making our choices, or we can base our choices upon values which are based on our understanding of reality, and we can ourselves validate as well. What would you prefer? Let us understand technology and human values. Technology is only a means to achieve what is valuable for human beings in an effective and efficient manner. But technology cannot decide what is valuable to human beings. Value education enables us to understand our needs and visualize our goals correctly, and also indicate the direction for their fulfillment. It also helps us to remove our confusions, contradictions, and enable us to rightly utilize our technologies and innovations. We see today a lot of misuse of technologies. There are few films. I wish that you can see these films.
Binsi says don't put out pictures. Now parents love taking pictures of their children, sharing them with friends and relatives. Is that at all the right thing to do?
Well, yes, to a certain extent one cannot stop parents from putting pictures of their own kids, but what we must tell them and to educate them is that they as well as their children should be aware that the pictures can be misused by people who are cyber criminals. They may be disguising themselves through spoofing or through identity thefts, and they might cheat by personation, or they might morph the pictures and make semi-simulated or simulated pictures and try and sell them even commercially. So India is actually. So
what do parents do? That's very scary.
Yes.
Parents watching this would be very worried. So what do they need to do to protect their children?
Well, first of all, one needs to educate them. As I said, cyber awareness is the first thing, and secondly, one must only allow people who they know personally to join a group. Like if you're in Facebook, you have the choice who you want to allow. Whereas strangers should not be allowed generally. Unless you know the person through somebody known, you would not invite somebody.
It is also important to know that what is valuable to us. Without this decision, technology is aimless, directionless, and can therefore lead to either constructive use or destructive use. It is thus with this understanding of values that we can decide on the appropriateness of technology and its application. Both the structure and use of technology are decided by values. Getting trained on technology without deciding what is valuable could prove to be counterproductive, as our technical skills are likely to be misused. Hence, synergy between technical education and value education is essential. It must be remembered that to become excellent professional, the excellence of values along with the excellence of requisite skills is required. Broad guidelines to decide the appropriateness of values. Values are universal, rational, natural, and verifiable, all encompassing and leads to harmony. Values need to be universal, and value education has to be universally applicable to all human beings and to be true at all times, at all places. Value education need not restrict to any particular sect, gender, or nationality. They are rational. It has to be amenable to reasoning and not based on dogmas or blind beliefs. It cannot be said sermons, do's or don'ts. They are natural and verifiable. Being natural means it is acceptable to us naturally. When we live on the basis of such values that are natural to us, it leads to fulfillment, happiness, and also is conducive to other people when we interact with them as well as with nature. We would also like to verify these values. When we can verify and find out whether they are true for us, this has to be done both checking for validity within ourselves as being naturally acceptable, as well as something which we can implement in our living and observe its outcome to be fulfilling. Values are all encompassing. Value education is not merely an academic exercise. It is aimed at transforming our lives, our consciousness. Hence, it has to spread to all the dimensions of our living, thought, actions, behavior, understanding, as well as at all levels, individual, family, society, and nature. Then only it will lead to harmony. So finally, value education has to enable us to be in harmony within and in harmony with others. Hence, when we live on the basis of these values, we start understanding that it will lead to harmony in us. Then what does it contains? Let us think about our sense organs. All sense organs have some or the other functions, and therefore they are valuable to us. If they fail, we find it difficult to live. So they do all their functions. Vegetables and fruits give us nutrients, even to animals. So they do their job, they do their functions. So they are valuable to us. What is the value of a human being then? Value means participation of human being. Role of human being in relationship with each and every unit in the existence. So, the course on value education include all the dimensions: thought, actions, behavior, work and realization. All levels of human living: individual, family, society, and nature, that is existence of human living. Then what is the process? How do we understand this? In this course, certain process of value education has been adopted and various proposals of understanding human values are presented. You need to verify them at individual level and lead your life. This is the process: human values as proposals. We can verify them and investigate them through self-exploration. So, we shall investigate into these proposals or into these values and try to verify them within us in our own right. Self-exploration of values to be done on the basis of natural acceptance, not by any external imposition. Self-exploration also includes verification of values by living according to these values. Not of giving sermons or prescribing do's and don'ts, but ready to investigate, which means these values are not sermons. We should be ready to investigate at all the time. The process should be in the form of a dialogue. Each one of us can conduct this investigation or this verification within ourselves. This process may initiate a transformation in our consciousness, in our understanding, and definitely things will change in our life. Let us verify and investigate all the proposals one by one and their truthfulness in ourselves and in our living. To conclude, value education is not about giving sermons, but aimed at helping the students to become authentic about himself, herself through self-exploration. Students, we have learned few things. First thing is that how values are important in our life, and through this value education we can learn to identify correct aspiration of our life, and this value education really help us to understand the universal human values, and through these universal human values we can fulfill our aspiration. When we understand the appropriateness of our values, when we understand that values are universal and rational, and we can investigate, verify on our own through self-exploration, we really live in harmony with ourselves, with others, and that leads to harmony. So, we all aspire for happiness. This is going to help us to lead a happy life. All the best. Thank you.